At Mad Snacks, they believe in the simple pleasure of healthy snacking, and their mantra is clear.
Be happy.
Eat mad.
Listen up, heroes. At Mad Snacks, they aim to transform your hunger into happiness by offering the highest quality, most delicious high-protein spreads. From fun, bold flavors to wholesome goodness, their spreads are crafted to bring a smile to your face with every delicious bite. Join the madness today because happiness and snacks go hand in hand.
For our listeners, put Heroes20 in at checkout to receive 20% off your order.
Be happy.
Eat mad.
At madsnx.com.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely based off the hosts and guests and are not associated with any agency, corporation, or LLC. Enjoy the show. I feel a beat coming on. Hit it, boys!
Mike's got the facts with a stern face. Cliff's cracking jokes just to keep the pace. Together they tackle the big and the small. Everyday heroes standing tall. Mike's the brain and Cliff's the brain.
It is Saturday.
Oh, what a beautiful Saturday it is. We had a day off today. We didn't have to go to the gym.
No gym.
Oh, how happy was I.
And we survived snowpocalypse.
Oh, I barely survived. It was snowed in. I had to scrape my windows off in the morning.
Say it ain't so.
Okay, it ain't so. I forget. Hey, real quick, before we get started, like we use these Mad Snacks.
Every show starts with them.
Yep. And so I tried the peanut butter.
I did the white chocolate.
And it is actually healthy and it is good. Like,
compared this to we won't say the brand, but it was the natural version of a superstore brand, like the better version. And nutritionally wise, these stack up way better. So what I like about it is the protein.
Higher protein.
Yeah,
yep.
Like trying to get all your protein in, especially if you're in tune with your macros, is incredibly difficult. So, yep. Thank you to folks at Mad Snacks for sending this over for us to try. We will eat them dry, and then we'll probably beg you for some more. So
yeah,
there's that.
It was good.
Yeah.
And they have like two other flavors. They have like sugar cookie. I want to try the sugar cookie, and I forget what the other one is.
The sugar cookie.
Which one's the other one?
It's the salted caramel chocolate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would probably eat it and eat my calorie intake in a day. So very good, though.
Every time I hear the term sugar cookie, it's the sugar cookie, I think of that Dave Chappelle where he was playing P. Diddy.
Yeah.
I need y'all to go to the Bronx and find me a sugar cookie from a Colombian. And then they come back and he's like, that's one good sugar cookie. And then the guy that was Dylon, he's like, he wants me to get a sugar cookie, man.
I remember that. So after last night, we had a really big interview last night with the aerial firefighter, even though I totally misspelled aerial on the YouTube clip. I had to go in and edit that. UOPatwork.com. So what we got going on today? I know we got some special guests today.
Yeah, we got a pretty full house here, and we're expecting one. We got James coming from Arizona. What's going on, big guy? Tell me what's good.
Hello. Nice semi-sunny weather here in Phoenix. How are you guys handling the cold out there?
Oh, man. We're snowed in, James. Snowed in, buddy.
Snowed in for 24 hours?
It's rough, man. It's rough.
Snowed in for nothing, man.
That's the imaginary
I haven't
snow.
seen snow in a while, so yeah, we're
neither
typical,
have we.
Yeah, we haven't. We haven't
typical
seen
January here.
Yeah.
So how cold does it get there at night?
Below freezing.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Last year was we're not quite done with the winter here, but last year we hit, I think, 29 degrees.
So it does get a little chilly.
Nice little chilly, nice hoodie weather.
Who else we got in house?
Well, Lana's not sitting in the Lana chair.
Oh no!
I gave it to our special guest.
So who is in the Lana chair?
Well, it is my oldest.
Oh Lord!
The one that they say your firstborn ends up being just like the dad.
Is that it?
Mm-mm.
Another Tredway. This damn house is full of Tredways. There's more Tredways in this house than there are Lutterlows.
Well, just this weekend, but do you notice have you noticed a theme?
What, we always have your family on the podcast? What?
No. We No, there's only one XY in all of them.
Explain.
Okay. For all those University of Phoenix alumni out there, you have the XX gene for females and the XY gene for males. I live in a house of females.
Oh, I get it now. I thought you were talking about
He literally has a phone charger that says if you are not
An
XX, do
I said,
not
if you
touch.
are XX, do not touch.
If you're XX, don't touch.
I need that for this house. I also live with females.
I brought it.
Oh
Look.
yeah, look at this.
You literally
not
has
kidding.
it. He has it.
Oh
Not
yeah,
XX.
don't touch. That's
Do
right.
not
So I
touch.
can go to your house and have free reign.
You can touch it.
Oh wow.
You want to know why? Because it'll probably stay there.
Oh yeah.
My
Wha-
problem is like I put stuff out in the living room and then it walks at an incredibly fast rate. But I don't think that that's really general. I think it's kid specific.
Yeah, I think it's kids too. Mine disappeared too.
You're missing your Oculus
Yeah, I don't even have an Oculus
anymore.
anymore.
And was that an XX or an XY that took it? Mm-hmm. Say it. Say it. That's the female.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely the female. My younger one is trouble.
David. James, what'd you do today, man? Talk to me about your weekend.
Oh gosh, enjoying the weather. Got Jenlyn over here, my daughter. We're just having a good, father-daughter weekend, and got one parts of my small part of my flight sim in today for my Xbox, so I'm enjoying that. And funny enough, I also got at the next steps of Arizona Rangers out here, so I got accepted to the next step for that.
Oh, congratulations, bud.
Yeah. Keep an eye out on TBS for Lawton, Texas Ranger coming to you.
Not Texas Ranger. No.
Oh,
I'm in the
Lawton,
beginning
Arizona
steps. So,
Ranger.
No.
Oh, not ten. Yeah.
Yeah. How are your kung fu moves?
Kung Fu-y.
He's no Chuck. He's no Chuck Norris.
Yeah. He's a lover.
Not a yeah. He is
He's a
definitely a lover.
Oh no, you haven't seen my ninja side.
We heard about your ninja side.
So anyway, that's it.
What about you, Lana? What you been up to?
Just hanging out.
I was here
Okay.
podcasting all daggum day yesterday, so I don't know what you were doing yesterday.
I was minding my own business.
What'd you do today? You worked.
I didn't work. I went and talked with Julie about some potential work.
Did y'all have a customer?
She had 2 customers before I got there. And then we reviewed login and documentation and different things and websites and protocol and yeah.
For those of you who don't know, my girlfriend owns her own business, and it's an aesthetic business, and I'm going to get this done. Mike says I shouldn't.
I like it.
He says I shouldn't get it done, but I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
That line right there, I look like Burt.
Right, you need a shot right here and a shot right
Look
here.
at Lana.
Yeah.
Look at Lana.
What's the protocol? Like when somebody comes in and they have so many deep wrinkles, they look like the Grand Canyon. You can't. Is that like Super Bravo 1 protocol? Julie, Super 1 protocol is in effect. We have a Grand Canyon. I repeat, a Grand Canyon at the front door. Or what else? How does that go?
Like, woman, you can't afford the number of shots it's going to take to fix you.
I'll be like, here's the application for care credit.
yeah. That's right. She does care credit
Yep,
stuff.
she does do care credit. And, everybody's different and we all age differently. And hydration is key. Hydration is key.
I know nobody can age as good as this.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing about me.
Beat you to it.
I did the micro needling last week when I got back from Florida, and Julie had a new mixture of face numbing cream. If you go to my Facebook, I posted my bloody face. But that numbing cream was amazing, and basically it just resurfaces gives you a fresh new layer of skin, helps with acne scars, dark spots, different things like that.
I remember when she did the micro needling on us.
God.
And it killed us.
Oh, her stuff I felt like my whole face left the dentist office.
She gave us the cheap stuff.
Mm-hmm. She got the Amazon brand.
Felt like I was getting a tattoo.
She's like, oh, that's a level 1. Are you okay? I'm fine. She's like, okay, I'm going to go to a 1.5. And anyway, if you see the picture on Facebook, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So what are you doing today?
What am I doing today?
What'd you do today?
I don't get an introduction first.
Yeah.
I'm just a stranger.
Well, we were trying to softly do it in there, but yeah. We said you were my oldest.
So let me go.
Yep, there you
This
go.
is Nevaeh. My favorite. And you know what? I've been bothering your dad for weeks. I'm like, we have got to have Nevaeh on because she, out of all the kids, she's the one that sort of keeps us in line. Like when we say stuff, she was like, you guys are wrong. She'll tell us when we're wrong. So I love Nevaeh. Right now she's getting her master's in social work. So awesome job. Smart kid. I'm so glad you're here. We're going to ask you some questions about social work, and I'm sure there's going to be times when you need to slap us on the wrist, and you do that.
Okay.
Well, I guess the best question is what kind of led you to want to get into that role of work? I mean, there's obviously something that's happened in your life where you're like, I think that's going to be, one, I'm passionate about it. Two, I think it could provide impact. When did you realize that?
So I did not start with social work when I started college. I was actually an education major when I started. I wanted to be a teacher ever since I was a little girl. I absolutely adore kids and interacting, teaching. It's very fun. During the pandemic, I actually got a job at a daycare, and it was quite an experience. And I saw...
What do you mean?
I was getting there.
Okay.
I was getting there.
So you need to soft roll into us as well. Okay, I got you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You straighten him out, Nevaeh. Handle it, girl.
But there was abuse and neglect, not only from parents, but other staff also. And it was a very hard battle. And I just wanted to know what I could do to actually help these kids. And I looked into social work, and I was like, I could actually be able to still teach these kids and like help with behavioral concerns and actually advocate for these kids. And I really think kids need more advocates. So I went the social work route so I could actually help children rather than teach children.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your dedication. Another job that is a hero that doesn't get noticed is social workers.
You're not lying, man. And I'll tell you that, like, I work for the government, and I can tell there's three areas that are really underpaid, and it's social work, community health workers, and public health nursing. Those areas, if you meet anybody in those career fields, they are not in it for the money. They're in it because they love it, and they're trying to help people. They got a big heart, and they don't get talked about enough. That's for sure. So when you decided to go to social work, were you, what university were you going to at the time?
So I originally started at Central Carolina Technical College, and then I transferred over to the University of South Carolina. Go Gamecocks!
Go Cox.
Woo.
Hold on.
Cox are number one.
Number one, babe.
So I am officially a Gamecock alumni, and I'm in grad school also at USC. So I will be a double USC alumni.
Is that can we say that?
What's
Is that a super Gamecock?
Does that make you more of a cock?
I guess you could say that.
She gets double cocks.
Stop. Delete.
No, we had to. Your mom is a handful over here because she, we tried to stay PG-13, and your mom will just drop them. So what she doesn't know is we have to go and find it, and we have to edit it, and it's not a timely process to edit those out. So now we are going to add a noise to just go over it, and I think we found a ridiculous turkey noise that goes bloop, 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 and every time that she curses now, we're just going to hit that. We're just going to dub her with that.
Or me, because I'm the other guy that cusses.
Yeah.
Me and your mom say the most curse words.
But yes, that's true.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm the one that has to put in the bloop, 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 bloop.
We're going to dub it. So when you went over from technical college, let's back up a little bit here. From leaving high school going into technical college, how did you feel about that? Was it what you expected? Like, I'm sure you're like, I'm an adult now, things have changed, let me go to technical school. Boom, I show up day one.
Well, I won't lie to you. At first, I did not think that I was going to go to college because I did not make the best decisions in high school. But I had parents that did not give up on me and, pushed me a little bit harder. So I went to college. And I remember when I first went, I was really, really excited. But again, I did start at a technical college instead of a university. So it wasn't quite the ideal freshman college experience, with the sororities and parties and new people. So I still got to meet amazing amazing people at the technical college, and it was still such a great experience. And I really liked, having independence and meeting cool people, and just the experiences were absolutely great. And then transferring over to USC, that was an awesome experience also.
So you're saying that the technical college was a little underwhelming?
A little underwhelming, yes. The classes were a lot smaller than the ones at USC. When I was at Central, the classes were anywhere from 10 kids to 30 at most. And at USC, it goes anywhere from 30 up to 300.
Oh, wow.
So
it's packed.
Yes.
So which one do you learn better in? Like which atmosphere?
I definitely learn better in a smaller class atmosphere. I am a kinesthetic learner, hands-on, so I'm all about like class discussions, class debates, presentations, just being actively engaged with the class and the teacher. The big classes really don't work for me because you're just taking notes off of a board, and I don't really think it's the most beneficial for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Do when you go into higher learning, do they teach you what your learning style is, or is that something that you had to figure out on your own?
So social workers, we have to know a lot about learning styles, because if we're working with kids and students, we have to understand their learning styles. And if we're trying to teach certain things like behaviors or feelings, we have to figure out how can we connect to this kid. So we had to learn about all the different types of learning. So like the auditory learning, the visual learning, kinesthetic learning, and there's a whole bunch of other forms of learning. I definitely know like education majors, social work majors should definitely know about the forms of learning.
Did you know that about yourself, though, or did it take you getting into social work to
I
that?
definitely knew that about myself before. I cannot listen to somebody longer than 20 minutes. If you do not engage or have a conversation or anything, I can't do it, and I'm checked out. And then reading, I think most of the time I can make it like 3 pages, and my brain is just going elsewhere. So I do not learn best that way.
Does that include reading things that you want to read, or
no?
Just
when a professor is like, "Oh, before tomorrow's class, just know that you have to read chapters 1 through 4," and it's 19. It could be 19 pages, it could be 40. Like who knows? But it is not the best experience reading all of that.
I'm the same way, man.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually have to when was it text to talk came out? Like I would take pictures of what I had to read, and I'd listen to it, and then I'd learn it that way. Like I'd listen to it like 2 or 3 times. I'd be like, got it.
Well, believe it or not, we actually have a lot less reading nowadays. Like we do have reading, but we watch so many videos, and believe it or not, we listen to a bunch of podcasts and stuff for classes too. So I definitely think like technologies has kind of changed, the reading, and a lot of people learn more from watching than reading. And
so how many Everyday Heroes podcasts have
big
you
question
listened to all the way through?
I don't think you really want me to answer that.
No, I want your answer. Go ahead.
After tonight, it'll be 1.
I haven't finished a single one. I won't lie to you. I'm really not good with podcasts. I can't, like I just said, I can't focus that long just listening and not engaging.
Okay. So we need to
How many have you
hands-on.
opened?
Yeah.
2.
Okay.
Oh, well, good.
How many TikToks have you seen?
Well, Dad made me follow him on TikTok, so
Yes.
he pops up on my For You page every now and then, and
Dad does, or Everyday Heroes?
Everyday Heroes. And I am a little meanie, and I kind of don't like them because I don't want them to keep popping up on my For You page. So
What in the world? What kind of kid did you raise?
it's just
All right, guys, that's the show for today. We appreciate Nevaeh coming on.
Dang.
I know, man.
She's
That's kids
tough.
for you.
That's all right. I don't even think Lana likes them very often. Have you?
Yeah.
Have you liked? I don't think you've liked them.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think Julie watches any of them either.
I watch all of them for sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple I share, and then I share them to my Facebook too sometimes.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste. We're an acquired. Well, yeah, and they have to live with us every day too.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, these guys are no heroes.
They're so full of it.
Yeah, they're full
That's
of
not
crap.
it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lana, for saying that. I know Mike isn't, but I am. You know how I roll.
So as you were so we made the transition over. You haven't really had like that college lifestyle yet. You're still living at home at the time. When you made your transition to university, I think that's when you decided to go ahead and spread your wings a little bit and move out of the house. And I know that was something you wanted to do, to stand on your own 2 feet. What was it like, And I'm only saying this so, like, let's say if there's a teenager getting ready to go to college, right? So think about it, how they would look at it. You know, they're in the same shoes. I want to move out of my folks' house. I want to stand on my own 2 feet. What would you tell those people about that transition of, okay, you're in your new place, but now let me tell you, maybe it is as cracked up as they think it's going to be, or maybe it's not. What do you think? Tell us about it.
So I'm going to try and use my social work brain in this. And the truth is that nobody has the exact same experience when you transfer to college, because some of the students, they have parents that pay for everything. They pay for the housing, food, the student loans, like everything. The student doesn't have to worry about anything. And then you have the ones that, you know, part-time work, parents still pay for the books and, you know, the meals, but I'm responsible for paying the gas and, you know, buying my own clothes. And then you have people like me where I have parents that pay like the bigger stuff, like, you know, they help out with the car insurance, health insurance, like the big stuff I can't afford. But, you know, I was responsible for, you know, my gas, my rent. I was thankful that my dad paid for my phone. That was great. But basically anything that I wanted or needed, I was responsible for. And I knew that I could ask my dad or my mom for help when needed, but I tried my absolute best to avoid that.
That's true. I really think you only asked me for. She did actually. I was really proud of her. She did a really good job. Like, I was expecting a lot worse, to be honest with you, but it was more like she just needed and it wasn't like big ticket. It was like the occasional supplement.
Yeah,
like, hey, you know, I'm a little light on for groceries. Can I get, you know, $100 for groceries? Which we know in today's world, that gets you like 8 things.
Yeah, she bought like Little Debbie snack cakes and a drink.
I think the most time I had to ask for money is like if my payday was the next day and I needed gas to get to class the next day. And I'd be like, hey, Dad, can I please have $20 so I can get gas in my car or pay for the student parking? Because don't even get me started. The student parking over there is ridiculous.
So you didn't say, can I borrow? You said, can I have? Because my son always says borrow.
Borrow, like, I know this for a fact. When a kid says borrow, that just automatically means,
it means can I have? Yeah.
And that's okay.
I would say I do pretty good. If I tell my dad I'm going to pay him back, I do pay him back. I'm very responsible with that. Or we do the whole, hey, Dad, will you get me this at the grocery store? And then I get him the next time at the grocery store. Like, and there's times that's kind of how it works.
Excuse me. That's true.
Did you have something, Lon? Were you about to say something?
You guys were talking about, Nevaeh, how everybody has their own experience and not the same. One of the things that I remember when you went from Central Carolina over to the university is you were going through some things and couldn't drive too. Do you want to talk about that? Did that help you make your choice of getting out sooner and being on your own too?
Yeah, we can talk about that. So as of right now, I am about to be 3 years seizure free. That's so exciting. Yay!
Thank goodness.
But I do have epilepsy, and that started while I was in college, during COVID also, well, kind of right as COVID was ending and, you know, everybody was starting to go back to school and things were starting to transition back to the way things were. I was just sitting on the couch watching a movie with my parents, and then all of a sudden I wake up and everybody's freaking out and I have no idea what's going on. And I had a seizure and we went to the doctor, and there's a lot of rules with seizures and epilepsy because you become absent, not present. So it causes limitations and you're not able to drive for 6 months in South Carolina. If you have epilepsy, you have to be 6 months seizure free to drive. And in total, I did not get to drive for 18 months. And that was probably one of the most difficult times because as I was
young
19,
lady. Yeah,
19, 20. That was extremely difficult. COVID on top of that, I wanted to be out with my friends and having a good time. And me having seizures definitely exposed who real friends are. And it was just a really, really difficult challenge. And so one day I'm sitting and I did not get to apply to USC at the original time I was supposed to because I started having the seizures. I did not want to have parents have to drive me 30 minutes to and from every day. It was really embarrassing. So I didn't even apply when I was supposed to. And then, you know, I have another seizure and what now? Like, I'm almost done at Central. I'm almost done with this 2-year degree. Like, what am I going to do?
Right.
And my dad wasn't a huge fan of me moving out at first. It was kind of like, if you move out, you move out. You want to make adult decisions, go make adult decisions, but there's no easy comeback pass. Like if you make this decision, that's your decision. And I just knew that I needed to, because if I lived closer to campus, I would have public transportation to rely on. I would be closer to campus, walkable distance. I would be able to walk to work. I would be able to walk to class. I would be able to walk to a coffee shop if needed. I was even able to walk to the gas station if needed. So that was my motivation to move out. And I wish that wasn't the reason why, but I'm really glad that it pushed me out of the house and kind of gave me an experience to, you know, adult and go do adult things.
Yeah, I think that is that's like the.
It was really great to watch her do her research on where she was going to rent and different things that were available to her, services, all of it that she got to experience. And then the one that she ended up picking literally had, the apartment complex she picked had a bus that ran to and from every day and morning, if the bus was working.
Yeah, shuttle.
But it was good to watch her go through that and let her.
I made some really good friends during it too, because like I said, I'm social work. And so one of the things that we really advocate for are people with disabilities, because, you know, there's a lot of discrimination still towards people with disabilities, and the world is just really not fair and treats people with disability just unfair. And so I had a teacher that was not very nice, and nobody really liked her. She was kind of mean. And one day I need to go to class, and there is an attendance policy. You can only miss 2 classes. You miss more than that, she can dock you a whole letter grade. Okay. And I get an email saying that the shuttles aren't going and I still can't drive. Oh. And it's literally the 3rd week of classes and I don't know anybody yet. And I'm freaking out and I don't know what to do. And I was like, okay, let me email my professor, you know, tell her my circumstances, because I do have accommodations with the university. You know, I have my disability accommodations that says my attendance varies and I have exceptions. So I email my professor and she tells me, it says right there in the email that Stadium Suites will reimburse you for a cab. So you can take a cab. And I was like, I don't have the money for a cab. The cab is literally like $25 and I don't have $25 right now. I am a broke college student. I don't have $25. And she tells me that if I don't come to class tomorrow, it counts as one of my absences and I'm going to go down a letter grade, even though it's because of my disability. So, you know, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I'm calling people. It was so hard. And then luckily, you know, us social workers were really nice. We try not to leave people out. We know how difficult it is. So we're really all engaged with each other. And luckily I had somebody that was really, really nice and picked me up and took me to class that day. It's so amazing how far just giving this kid like just some sense of hope and just give them some determination and just know that they have your support. Like it goes such a long way. And I wish more people would just recognize that. The saddest thing is that they expect teenagers to act a certain way because of their age. So because you're 14 years old, you should know how to say please and thank you. You should know how to wake up on time and catch the bus. You should know how to do your chores and your homework. They're expecting just because of age. But what people don't understand is that we are all developmentally different, and it shouldn't be based off of age. It's where we are developmentally. And some of these kids aren't taught certain behaviors at home. These kids are not taught responsibility and time management or things like that at home. So how can you expect them to have time management with their homework and their school if nobody's doing it? So it's just like, you have to understand, just because of age does not mean these kids have the skills that they need. So they just need a push. They just need some help. They just need some motivation, guidance. That's exactly what they need. And if some people just take a little bit more time to listen and to give them a chance, so many more kids would go further and so many more kids would have a chance to be more successful. And it just really sucks that some kids, they just give up by 6th grade, 7th grade, and they're just done. And it's very sad.
Well, I hope you keep that fire.
Yeah,
that's going to be your challenge, is keeping the fire.
I love that energy in you. I love that like your dad said, that fire. I work with at-risk youth on the weekends, and the one thing I've noticed is that a lot of these kids, they don't need more discipline. They don't need more, you know, you always doing this. these kids need somebody to believe in them and somebody to tell them that they are loved, they are cared for, they are amazing. And those are things that I know for me growing up, it didn't happen. And so now I think that's kind of made me who I am now, and I do the things I do now. But you're absolutely 100% spot on. One person is all it takes to tell that kid, hey, you got this. You can do this. No issues. Hands down, you're amazing. Just go do it. And I love the fact that you did that and you changed those kids' lives.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, social work. So I spent 2 years in foster homes when I was young. And every one of them was not good. And a social worker pulled me out of situations. So I was with 3 other siblings, and we all got separated, and then they would put us together for a little bit. So it's a sacrifice for you because it's not a high paying job, but it does make a difference. And the last family that I was put with, really made an impression, and I still remember that. So know that you're part of their future, because I remember those days, and I know my sisters and brother, my brother did. So I appreciate you.
So I just want to talk about something real quick, because you brought up foster care, and a lot of people, when they hear social worker, they automatically think DSS caseworker. When I say social worker, they're like, oh my God, you rip families apart and you put kids in a foster
That's
care?
not what I do.
And I'm like, no. What you're thinking of is a quote unquote case manager, not a social worker. Those are case managers. And a lot of people that are case managers are just BSW or something in psychology or something smaller. And as social workers, we can do so much more than just case management. Right. So you also have the difference between masters and licensed masters. So I plan to get my license and be an LMSW. And, with that, I could have opportunities in hospitals, prisons, schools. I could do individual counseling. I can do macro work. I could work for the state. We just have so many opportunities, and it goes so beyond, the DSS and foster care. It goes way beyond that. But those are also opportunities too. And some people are very dedicated to particularly working with the foster care population. So
you bring up a good point is there's people don't understand what your guys' role is. So, if somebody's asking, now's a good time for you to sit there and say, this is what an actual social worker does, so go ahead and tell people in what you've learned or at least through a job description, what is a social worker?
So I'm not going to give obviously the book definition, but a social worker to me, a social worker is an advocate. You have to be willing to be open-minded. You have to have a kind heart. You have to be willing to, stick up for battles that aren't yours. You have to be willing to be open to diverse lifestyles and cultures, and you have to be willing to see things from a different point of view. And if you can't do those things, then you're really not fit to be a social worker. And we have a lot of core values as social workers. We have 6 primary ones. One of them is dignity and worth of a person. One is social justice and service. And it's one of those things, if you really can't see the dignity and worth of a person, then you should not be in social work at all, because our job and duty is to help everybody. And, we believe in giving everybody a chance. We all have different experiences and trauma, and we all have different backgrounds. So, not everything is black and white like everybody thinks. Our goal is just to help people, and we just want them to be successful and make sure that they just have their needs to get to that success.
So there you go.
Very good explanation. Yeah. Very good one.
It's almost like she's been in school for 5 years and figure out how to say that.
It's selfless, man. It's a selfless service.
You really, really have to have a big heart, and you have to be able to understand yourself. And one of the biggest things that we talk about, especially during undergrad, is you have to understand your own values and your own biases and your own beliefs, because like I said earlier, there's so many different populations you can work with. And so you just have to know where you belong and what fits better with you. And you just have to be open-minded. So some people want to work with the VA, and I just can't imagine doing that. I can't.
Can you believe that? My own flesh and blood. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
She's turned her back.
I've been shunned.
I have definitely thought about it, like working with the military youth, they have to move around a lot, and they have challenges with social skills and stuff like that. But I just learned during undergrad, and like when we're learning about what we would have to do working with the population, that's when I learned like this would not be a good fit for me. And I said, where are you a good fit, Nevaeh? Like, what are your strengths and where are your weaknesses? And I was like, that one of your weaknesses, you're not really good with your emotions, and you cry, so working with domestic violence would not work for you. That cannot work. So where can those emotions go? And I said, who needs emotions? Children. These children, they need love, they need passion, they need tears, they need happiness, they need every emotion. And I was like, okay, so this is definitely going to be a better population for me. So that's why I did children, youth, and families for my specialization in grad school.
Well, that's a great transition into, so we come to the end of the bachelor's. We're like masters, as you can continue to become more specialized in your field or kind of branch out a little bit, maybe do something different. What was your decision to stick within the social work field and continue on with an advanced degree with that?
Well, once I found out that you really couldn't get a job with just a BSW, I was kind of like, you might need to get your master's. Don't get me wrong.
Hold on a second. James has a question. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Nevaeh. Hey, how's it going? Hey, sorry for disturbing everybody, but I thought I got two questions for you, if I may. Based on your studies, do you have a favorite part of being a social worker versus a least favorite part? And during your studies, has there been clients that you have or patients you have, are they court appointed, or can they be court appointed? Can they be voluntarily, or can they be like medically referred to you?
So in social work, we can have voluntary or involuntary clients. So they can be referred to us, after being released from juvie or after being released from a hospital. So they can be mandated to receive treatment. But we also have voluntary clients that want to seek help and assistance on their own. So those are the two kinds that we have. Does that answer the second question?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then to answer your first question about my favorite part, I would say my favorite part about being a social worker is when a client finally reaches their goal and you finally see this big smile on the client's face. They just tell you thank you. Like, it is one of the best feelings in the entire world, knowing that you help make a difference in somebody's life and you help them make a change and you just help them get where they wanted to get. And it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Is there a dance party afterwards? You guys do like a little happy dance together?
No.
We did it.
Not yet.
We did it. Ooh, we did it.
No, but I definitely get all excited. I jump, I've clapped, I've hugged, I've done all, it is just so great. I absolutely love when a student or a client meets their goal. It feels great.
Mm-hmm. So we decided to continue on with social work with the University of Columbia.
Right. Like I said, you don't really have a whole lot of job opportunities with just a BSW, but there still are, which is great, but not necessarily what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to work with kids specifically, and just about every job I wanted, they're like, oh, you have to have a master's and you have to be licensed. And I was like, yay, more school. Woo. And
yeah, but you got to be honest. So the University of South Carolina has an accelerated program for those who attended their BSW program, correct?
It is called an advanced standing program, yes. So if you got your bachelor's in social work, you can apply for the advanced standing. And so instead of a 2 years master degree, we were literally summer, fall, spring. So I had 2 weeks off after my bachelor's and bam, I started grad school and I literally just have a semester left now. So
Graduate in May.
Yep, I graduate in May.
Oh, I know. We're celebrating.
Yeah, we're so
in a big way. It's a celebration that she's leaving.
Very proud.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we're very proud of her.
She's got 3 to 6 months to get it together after class.
So what's your internship in grad school and how does it differentiate from your undergrad?
So I'm at a school again that was not what it was originally supposed to be, because like I said, my undergrad one, it was not exactly what I thought it would be, what I would hope it would be. I didn't get to work with kids as much as I wanted, so I wanted to do something completely different than school. And so I get a job, internship. I get my internship at a inpatient facility for adolescents. Oh, I'm so excited. It's so great. Yay. And then literally a week before our internship starts, oh, hey, sorry, you need to find a new internship. We're not like, and so 8 of us lost our internships a week before it started.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a horrible
Stressful.
experience.
That
I
is.
cried so much that week. I was so stressed. And so
Well, is it incumbent on you or the school to find a
so it was
replacement?
it was the school's responsibility to forward me which options were still available and help like advocate for me, because we also had to do interviews for these placements. So like you had to go through a complete interview. It was basically like a job process almost. And so if there's only 5 places left and some of them are in Greenville and Charleston, and if we get rejected from there, like what are we going to do? So they would help us and be like, hey, I'm going to talk to so and try to advocate and help you get this placement instead. But we were responsible for doing the job interview and actually getting the placement. So we have to keep looking, and somebody tells me these are your options. You can work at a hospice. And I was like, absolutely not. I
That's tough. That would be
refuse to do
tough.
hospice.
Yeah.
My other option was at a male prison, and I said, no, thank you. And my last option was with a school, and I was like, okay, let's go from here. And so I interviewed, see what my role was going to be, and I realized that it was going to be different than my undergrad one. So even though I'm still going to be in a school, 2 different roles basically. And the lady was like, I knew you didn't want to be in a school. Like, how do you feel? And I was like, I think that this is a blessing in disguise. Because again, I have a true passion for children. I will never forget my first day coming home from working with them. I cried. I was so happy. And I just knew it's what I wanted to do. So I told them, I was like, it's a new school. It's a new district. It's a new age group. It's a new whatever. So maybe this is the universe telling me that I need to give it another shot and, see a different perspective before you just, give
That's
up.
a good way to look at it.
Yeah, it is a
So
good-
that's what I told her, and I'm very thankful that I took this experience because I am learning a lot in this experience for my internship. And there are definitely some challenges. Like I had to do my first mandatory report. Like I had to make my first DSS call literally 2 days ago. That was pretty hard for me, but it was such a great learning opportunity because I know I'm going to have to do it so much after graduation when I get a job. So it was just such a great learning opportunity. And I get to work with these kids and I get to hear their stories and just see all of these different backgrounds. And I'm just being, I love being in the school because where do kids spend most of their time? Most kids spend more time at school than they do at home. And so I actually get to see what's going on, not just what a kid wants to tell me. I'm actually seeing. I can see your grades. I can see your attendance. There is no lying here. I can see it. So we're going to sit down and have a chit chat about this.
So what's next?
Like after graduation, I'm still trying to figure it out. I definitely don't want to make a huge, what's the word I'm looking
Decision.
for? I think I was thinking like irrational, like just not thinking. I don't want to make a big decision, I just know for sure I want to work with kids, and I'm going to start applying for jobs like before graduation because I would like to be set in stone after graduation. But first I have to take my licensure exam before anything. If I don't pass my licensure exam, I can't do what I want to do anyways.
Well, what's the difference between an MSW and an LMSW?
So again, master's social work degree is MSW, and then licensed master's of social work. There we go.
That's what university education gets you right there. Right there.
I'm
Leave me
you.
alone.
Oh yeah.
I
I can tell you ain't no University of Phoenix online.
I can't spell Ariel, so go ahead.
I was just having my moment. But basically, a licensed MSW, it just means that we have more certification and we just have more quote unquote credentials, I guess. We have to know about like the human growth and development. We have to learn about medicines. We have to know about diagnoses. We have to know about all of this stuff. And some people, they don't need the licensure to do what they need to do. They just need their master's. And it also costs almost $300 to take your license exam. And some people, they don't want to do that. They don't want to pay for it. So they just have their master's in social work and they can do a lot of things. But if you want to be in the clinical field, if you want to work with anything that has diagnoses, or you want to be anywhere at a school, hospital, like you have to have your license. You have to know about, the medicines and the diagnoses and just.
Sounds complicated to me.
Yeah, I've been studying with about 60 questions a day because apparently the test is about like 175 questions, somewhere around that. And we get 4 hours, and there is a possible like 850 questions that could be on that exam. So I am studying anywhere from 40 to 60 questions a day.
University of Phoenix is
Online.
online, plus it's all open book. So this is not open book.
No,
Oh.
no, it is not. No, it is not.
Cliff sat down and said, which one of these 4 options is referred to as aerial?
Yeah.
Areola?
He chose
Areoli?
E.
I just close my eyes and start circling something.
But I just want to
Spell the alphabet.
I just want to rewind real quick because you asked me what I want to do. And so, once I get my licensure and graduate and start, social work is all about experience. That's what they care about most. So, my first job, yes, I need to take seriously, but it's kind of like I really just need to get a job set in stone and get that experience so I can take that next step. But I know for sure that my goal and what I want to do is I just want to help make a difference. I really want to be an advocate. That is my main goal, is to make a difference in somebody's life and help make a change that needs to be changed.
We did talk about trying to find maybe like part-time that would work with your schedule for you to just get going and get your foot in the door somewhere. So if anybody knows of anything that's part-time willing to work with schedules for experience, let us know.
That's a big thing, man, is that first job, getting experience. Because a lot of times people will say, well, you don't have enough experience. Well, nobody gives you the chance to earn the experience.
Well, that's what that.
I think that's what's crazy because they required us to have 400 hours of experience during undergrad, and we have to have 500 hours of experience during grad. So that's 900 hours of experience. Yet you're telling me I need experience.
I think though it's a little different with these robust internships that you're taking. That I don't think you'll have to market yourself more collegiately versus experience. I think you'll have a nice blend of the two, and you have two to say, well, I learned this here, and then I learned this here, continue to learn this. You'll be able to paint a really good story. I hire within your field, and I think that coming straight out of school, most hiring people know what you're going to get coming out of school. They still need development. There's still learning that needs to happen, but really you're looking at do they care about people? Do they want to help people?
Are they motivated?
Yeah. Can they show up on time? And you check all those blocks. So I wouldn't sweat it too much. I think you're going to do all right. The worst case is you'd have to move to Kansas City and try to deal with living up there. Just saying.
You can be a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There's nothing wrong with living in Kansas City. It's just cold.
It's cold
Very
here
cold.
too.
Yeah, Martinez, you probably have a bunch of social workers up there in your field as well, right?
I do have a lot of social workers up here. There's a lot that work for one of the departments called Aim for Peace. So they go out to hospitals after like domestic violence calls, when people are shot, things of that nature. They go out to those hospitals and they actually interview those families and check in with them and get them what they need, to make sure they're safe and they're going to be taken care of until they can get back on their feet.
Doing God's work, man, for real.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, taking on someone else's, it's stressful too. Are you ready for that stress? It's got to be stressful.
She lives in my house, man.
That's true. You live with my
Madhouse.
Very true.
Well, I was gonna say I'm trying not to think about that yet. We're taking one step at a time, So I'm trying not to put that in my head yet.
I think anytime you make a change, Martinez can talk about this. James can talk about this. Your mom, all. I think if we would impart anything onto you is anytime we make a change, it's nerve-wracking. Because you have the first thing that enters your mind is self-doubt. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do good. I'm going to be a failure. They're going to see right through me. I'm a fraud. All these things pop in your head. But then you get there and you're like, oh, I'm here for a reason. I answered a question that, nobody can answer. I'm going to do something that nobody else thought of. I like that feeling. And maybe based off of previous experience, but like every 3 years, I feel a need that I need to move on. Like I've learned, I've capped. Now I need to go challenge myself. So actually the thing that you're afraid of is the thing that I try to stay. It's okay, Mike, just stay where you're at. You're doing good. Everything's good. But there's a part of me that's like, nope, it's time to move on. It's time to learn more. throw it out there and try to help other people and learn for those people, stuff like that. So I know now it seems like it's going to be nerve wracking, but I guarantee as you go and you climb the ladder in any type of government or nonprofit world that you end up in, you'll be like, oh, I'm ready to move on. I've mastered this. I'm bored. Time to move on. Everybody else feel the same way? Cliff, you feel that way?
No, yeah. As a person that's going through dry January, I do feel, I have self-doubt on my diet. I have self-doubt. When we were doing leg day today, I have self-doubt. So I understand where you're coming from, Nevaeh.
Lana, how do you feel about that? You feel kind of like the same way?
Yeah.
All right, Dynamite. Martinez, how about you? How do you feel about that? Are you wired similarly to that, or are you a little different?
Yeah, it all depends on me personally. It's the environment. Is the environment, conducive to my mental health? Because you are going to meet people in your field, and that's any field. They think they know it all, and that no one else's opinion matters. You're going to meet those people every day. And the best advice I can give you is, I tell them all the time, not my monkey, not my circus. If it doesn't directly involve me or affects what I'm doing or my job, I try not to concern myself with it, because a lot of times it's not going to be your business, but you're going to have people that's going to try to make it your business. Mm-hmm. And the best thing you can do is just say, hey, yeah, thank you for your input, and just keep moving, man. And like Mike said, I think we always say new year, new me, right? But every year I do try to reinvent myself. I try to add something else to my toolkit to make me a little bit more marketable. Just so if you do decide to move on, man, just move on, be at peace with your decision, and just, hey, I did what I could here. I'm leaving on a good note. Now I got to go do what's best for me.
Mm-hmm. That's solid. James, what's your thoughts, man?
A mixture of both, y'all. So just like Martina was saying, it's whatever is conducive to your mental health and condition, and it's the feel good, right? So, and then very much, the military mindset where it's every 2 to 3 years, right? We're like, okay, time to, we're just so used to the motions of, kind of a cookie cutter thing where we move, the whole PCS thing. And then once you get set, and relaxed, I'm just largely moved on from that, but there's still a part of me that goes, okay, every 3 years, 2 years, you see your friends, whether they're military or not, move out. So I had to settle myself in to where I'm at now and just get used to that. So it was a work in progress, but yeah.
Yeah, that's almost 240 years of experience to give to you right there. What you think about that?
Some good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Well, I know we're going to keep talking. Nevaeh, thank you. 1, I love you. 2, I'm very proud of you. You're more than welcome to stick around, but thank you so much for sharing your story about college and what you're willing to do. Like I said, I wish it's a special person to put people's needs above their own, and especially when they're not looking at it for, financial,
personal,
you know what I mean?
gain.
Like, yeah. You're not getting into that. She knows that she's not going to own a yacht.
That means we got to find us a rich man
within the next 5
true.
years.
Do you not know how I was raised?
See, Dad's Gucci.
Clearance.
Well, she's between two.
I know you're a clearance shopper.
She's clearance, and then Dad's Gucci. So maybe somewhere in the middle. She is very frugal. She's good. Oh, she's good. A very proud dad. But anyways, dude, I need to talk to. We got Martinez on. He's moving towards. Last time we had him on, he was talking about getting his podcast going. We're making steps here. We need to talk to him about these steps. Martinez, give us an update. Where are we at?
Well, I went and secured a laptop today that, kind of cried when he gave me the price, but I said, go ahead and swipe this card before I change my mind. Let's get this ball rolling, man. So I have some mics and stuff that I was trying to get set up, but I think I'm doing it wrong. So I'm going to wait till my 16-year-old comes back from gallivanting around Kansas City with her friends, because she's like the tech guru, to help me get set up and get this thing started.
Especially knowing you.
But I think I have a name.
What's the name? What do we go with?
What's that name?
I think I'm going to go with the resiliency factor.
I was telling Cliff, I was telling Cliff about that. I think that's a great choice.
I told Mike you should go with Everyday Heroes, but
That's already taken by two of the coolest dudes in the world.
And
that's LLC, sir.
Yeah. And like 20,000 people.
Yeah, there's like, I think at least 15 podcasts with that.
At least.
Like James is like, we're going to trademark that, and then they're all going to have to start paying us to use it.
And we can still do it. I've already looked into the U.S. Bureau of that. Trust me, I've looked it all up. So we are good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, he's already looking to patent it, so y'all gonna be good.
Yeah, we'll be all right. What do you want to focus on, Martinez? What is your podcast going to be about?
No politics, no religion.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. We're going to talk about sports. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about kids. Like I told you guys before, I want to have my daughter and her high school friends on. And, let's talk about what they go through every day in high school, because it's not easy.
Oh, let me tell you, we did that episode.
Yeah. And that was
New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
It was great. Until they became arsonists and tried to burn down Cliff's house.
That was a true story. Yeah. The whole yard was on fire. I don't know if you heard that episode, but the yard was on fire.
I saw it, but I haven't watched it yet, but I do have it saved.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it.
That's a pretty good one.
We get about halfway through, and then you just hear Julie downstairs go, "There's a fire! The front yard's on fire! Come down!" And we get up and we go, and the front yard was on fire.
It was on fire. I had a fire extinguisher. It was awesome.
Yeah, fireworks, man. We gave the boys some fireworks to shoot off for the girlfriends, do some man stuff. And we were watching them, but it wasn't their fault. They had one of the fountain boxes was embering, and as it burned off, one of the embers went into the yard and then caught it.
I beg to differ. I think it was their fault. I think they need to learn that water, because they asked the girls for water, and the girls didn't bring them water, and
they came screaming for us.
Yeah.
You guys go get water.
Well, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they know that they need to put water on fireworks. But I didn't think when I was a kid, I would have done the exact same thing they did.
I was happy to hear, though, we did ask about what's bullying like in high school. And from 4 different kids' perspectives, like there's not really a lot of bullying anymore. The only thing that they will see, what?
That is such a lie. You are talking to your daughter and your daughter's friends. She's literally Miss Popular. Like, your daughter hangs out with some bullies. I've hung out with her and her friends. She hangs out with some bullies.
Here comes the truth, Mike.
She's a bully to Summer.
Well, yeah. Well,
is she a mean girl?
She's a mean girl.
No, not out with her friends. Like, she's the nice girl when she's out with her friends, but some of her friends, they are mean, and they bully each other, they bully other people, and it's still a thing. I promise, it's still a thing.
Is it physical bullying, or is it like cyber bullying?
Not physical yet.
More like cyber and verbal, like trying to belittle name calling and using very derogatory terms.
I know where she gets it from.
That's parents right there, man.
What did you call it? A sneak diss? They call it this. Are you sneak dissing me?
Oh, yeah.
Sneak diss. Oh, is that something?
That's that new thing? Sneak diss?
Sneak diss.
Yeah, Faith was talking to me about it. Did you just sneak diss me, Mom?
I was like that too. I was like, did you just sneak this? Remember when we went on a cruise and we had all that vodka and we're like, did we just sneak this on here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we did.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, everybody, if you haven't noticed, if you haven't watched yesterday's episode, we or the TikTok or the X or the Instagram or the Lemonade. If you've missed all of that, we now have merch.
Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that!
It's got a QR code on the back. You can, so if Cliff's in the grocery store getting something, he's in line, and the lady's like, "Man, that's a nice shirt." What is that, a QR code up there?
Yeah.
Well, I'm on my phone. Let me take a picture of that QR code.
You scanning Cliff's broad shoulders, you better have a doggone
you got to put it in panoramic mode.
Shots fired, Martinez. Shots fired. There he goes. That was a fat joke. That was an underlying fat joke.
I was going to ask if that was a fat joke.
That was definitely a fat
sneak
joke.
diss?
Yeah, that was a sneak diss.
Anti-skinny.
Yeah, that's it. You just think skinny. That's all.
Just think it.
Can I tell them what? Can I tell them about the letters on the back? We're looking at it.
Oh yeah. Tell them that. That was a good one.
So I wore mine, and I took Cliff's shirt to him when we played pickleball, and I said, "Hey, here's your shirt." And I opened it up. He's like, "Oh man, that's really nice." He's like, "Oh, I think the letters on the back need to be bigger." And I didn't really mean it this way, but I was like, "Well, it is on a 3XL." So he was like, "You son."
Like I should have got some bigger letters because my shirt was bigger.
Yeah, they probably should have ratioed it, right?
You would think, but we'll go to a different company and try it different. But this is nice. So look,
It looks comfy. It's a good color.
yeah,
I've had. Well, you said it was a good color. I think everybody's liked the color of it.
yeah, I
so
like
far.
the color. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
It's earthy.
it's beta. Yeah,
Is it crunchy? Is it crunchy?
Ew,
I didn't
don't
say crunchy.
that.
No, that's okay if it.
No, crunchy and earthy are.
I thought she said earthy. She said earthy.
Wait a
I
minute.
said
I'm like,
earthy.
what is a shirt being country? I can't even speak right now.
Crunchy.
Forgive me. It's the bourbon. Crunchy. What is that?
So like, well, this is why when she said earthy, is like crunchy people are like, you're gonna get me canceled if I have to explain. It's like somebody that's really in tune with Mother Earth, like hippie-ish.
Hey,
Just call them.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you,
right?
Martinez.
Well, it's almost like somebody that plugs in their sheets into the wall for grounding.
Oh, those grounded sheets
Yeah.
y'all been talking about?
Yeah, it's almost like that.
Okay, I found the definition, you guys. It is used to describe persons who have adjusted or altered their lifestyle for environmental reasons. Crunchy persons tend to be politically strong, left-leaning, and may be additionally, but not exclusively, categorized as vegetarians, vegans, egalitarians, environmentalists, neo-hippies, tree huggers, or nature enthusiasts.
Crunchy, man. How
I
is
just
this
heard tree hugger out of all that.
crunchy? I've never heard that.
You've never
before.
heard that before?
No,
Never.
I'm
I've
Okay,
fallen
so-
that same category.
Yeah. So the word for 2024 was gaslighting. So I'm taking 2025's new word is crunchy.
No, it's really not a word. I wouldn't.
Yeah, and it's been around. It's that. What did
I grew up with that word.
Yeah,
Really?
They're crunchy. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Crunchy is coming back, but it's kind of used in like a different context than like environmental hippie. It's kind of like
Icky.
yeah, almost like you're
Icky.
ooh,
ooh, that girl was crunchy. She was giving you, she
like
was giving
crunchy
you
or
toilet.
crusty.
like I don't know, but like crunchy is not really used as a good positive
It's
term.
not.
It's not.
So now we're trying to
No.
find different definitions for that word. We should just call it
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
tree
something
hugger.
different. Yeah.
Something.
I don't even say, I don't get the whole tree hugging thing, but I understand.
They drive
I understand for grounding
Subarus.
purposes.
Yeah.
Subaru folks.
Hey,
Yeah.
the grounding sheets, listen.
Yeah, yeah. I want to get back to this. You were just knocking on me. There's two people at this table that have sheets that ground.
I have some grounding sheets, and my girlfriend says she really feels good with them.
Yep.
I haven't, but last night I slept good. But I think the only reason I slept good is because
You
I
stayed
knew
up late.
somebody kept me up late.
You weren't complaining with the back rub.
Called PT.
Yeah, that was a nice back rub.
I don't get back. I don't even get back rubs.
You got one today.
Oh, uh-oh. What happened today?
One.
Something happened today. Nevaeh, you listening?
Yep.
Nothing.
She just got a pat on the back, and they thought it was
Yeah,
a back.
it was attaboy. That's all it was.
Attaboy.
What's the definition of back rub? Like how many strokes?
It's crunchy, man.
Yes.
That is not the right words
That's not
to
the
be
right
using.
phrase.
No, yeah.
Mike
Thumb
used
rubs. There you go, thumb
Mike
rub.
used that word last week, and I was like, "What the hell?"
She got really offended. Like her hair was really long, and I was like, "Honey, your hair's kind of long. It's looking a little crunchy."
Yeah,
Why
I was.
would you say that?
Thank you. Thank
Long
you.
hair.
Read the room, Mike.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
no, no, no. When you
I
say
was like-
crunchy like that, that's like
That's wrong. That's wrong.
I almost took the frying pan and smacked him.
Yeah. Well, Julie's come in before, and she said, "Cliff, you look really chunky." So I understand how you feel.
Yeah, it
It
hurt.
hurts your feelings.
It does.
I'm like that too. Nevaeh, you might need to talk to me. I might need some counseling.
I can give you some free counseling right now.
Do it.
Give me your problem.
Well, first off,
Side diss.
it's dry January, and I don't think that's fair. I was an alcoholic, and now I'm not. for a whole month.
So you mean like you're trying to be sober for an entire month?
For the whole month, yeah.
What made you decide to do that?
Well, I had already planned on it with my doctor. No, yeah, look at James. He's pointing at Mike. No, I was already planning to do it, but then somebody said something about dry January, so I'm going to do that. And then instead of drinking when we go out to karaoke or wherever, I'm going to be the designated driver.
Oh, I thought you said you were just going to stick with cocaine.
That too.
It's a dangerous drug.
I'm hoping that
Just say no, children.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can lose some weight.
We'll
Just
cut
ask
it.
Dave Chappelle.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah, we'll cut that out. Not really.
But did you die?
I'm not cutting it out.
Well, while y'all having a dry January, I'm gonna have a wet year.
Oh my God!
Hey.
You're an
My
enablist.
man, my man.
Way to
I like
go.
that right there. Hang on. Little dilly dilly. Here we go, sir.
Oh Lord, look at these guys.
I'm with you guys.
All
Let
right.
me use my pinky. Look at that. See?
Well, I
crunchy.
think you
I'm
made
crunchy now.
a really good goal, Cliff, and I think you should be proud of yourself. And you put yourself in a social situation, and you're not being influenced by the people you're surrounded by or being peer pressured. And there's a lot of grown adults that can't do that, and a lot of people can't challenge themselves. So you should be proud for challenging yourself to make a change.
Nevaeh,
Those social work skills.
Dang,
Right
nice,
there.
Nevaeh.
You see how they came into play?
Oh, I like this.
Six
Mike,
figures right there.
Mike's turn. Ask Nevaeh something, and she will give you her expertise.
Oh.
I like this game.
You like this game?
Yeah. Or you can skip to James and Martinez.
You know, honey, to be honest with you, I feel very blessed. I don't feel like I have like big problems in my life. I have small problems. My biggest problem. Okay, here's one for you. How do I get better at things that don't go my way, but it really doesn't bother me?
Say that one more time, so I
I
can
didn't
make sure
get
I
that.
understand. Yeah, it was a
it's
little
hard to-
confusing with those words.
And don't take this as how like this happens at work. I mean, like that's like something that's kind of within my sphere of influence, but it's not going the way I want it to. But it really can grind my gears and go.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you kind of get irritated or agitated or annoyed when things aren't necessarily going your way, but it's not. You're saying that it's something small and that shouldn't be happening. Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
He's letting. I think he's saying, how do I not let it affect me if I'm not like if it really doesn't have anything to do with me? Is that what you?
well, it does have things to do with me. Like there's secondary effects for me, but
So is it something small? Is it something big?
like it's nothing ever big. Like small, medium.
It's kind of one of those things you just have to think. For one, why do I care? Why am I letting this affect me? And why is this putting me in a negative mood? Or why is this making me feel the way I'm feeling? First, you have to know how you're feeling because, believe it or not, a lot of adults can't identify their feelings and they don't know how to express emotions. So first, you have to identify what you're feeling. Then, why am I feeling this way and why am I caring about this? Am I caring because I'm involved? Am I caring because of this person? Am I caring because of the challenge? Like, what is it? And then once you figure out why you care, is it worth caring? Is it worth to make a big deal about that? Is it really, really worth it? Because I have the same challenge, but more so with like anxiety. Should I really let this keep bothering me? Like I keep focusing on it. Should I keep doing it or should I take a step back and, so you just have to
Emotional maturity.
yeah, and it's really about like being mindful and be able to recognize it and being able to catch yourself. So it's kind of like, think before you react, like try not to respond in the moment and act in the moment. You just need to take a step back and, process what's going on.
It's a good one.
That is a good one.
James, what you got?
Yeah, Nevaeh. So I kind of still keep this mentality where it's, has anybody heard the term walnuts and rice? So walnuts and rice, right?
What?
So an old commander of mine, he used to have a jar on his desk. It was full of walnuts and rice. He says, and I agree with him. You take care of what you.
Are you saying wallet?
Walnuts.
Oh, okay. I was like, why the hell would you put rice in a
No,
wallet?
walnuts and rice.
Okay, walnuts.
So yep, exactly. Like walnuts. WALNUTS. So
now you're just being offensive.
Yeah, now you're just showing off.
Yeah.
So you take care of what you can control, and everything else will fill in the spaces. I like that. So has anybody heard of that?
I've heard of similar things where it's like, hey, here's the bowl. You put some rocks in. Is it full? No. Here's some little pebbles. Is this full? No. Now you put the sand in. Is it full? No. Now you fill the rest with water. So it's like The big things take up the bigger space, and then it's the small things that fill everything else up.
Yeah, I've seen that on.
Yeah, same concept exactly. Yep.
What you got, Martinez?
You know, I like what James just said, the walnuts and rice, right? And that can also go to that glass half full, glass half empty. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. It has water in it, right? Or whatever you want to put in it. So if you ever listen to Bruce Lee, he always said, let your thoughts be like water, right? Because whatever it's in, it takes the form or the shape of whatever it's in.
Right.
So what I've dealt with this week, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like using the word hate, but I'm gonna say hate. I hate it when people don't talk to the people about decisions before they make them. So if you're about to make a decision about someone else or someone else's little pot, their little area, but you don't talk to the people that's in the trenches doing the work on the ground, but you want to make a decision because of, oh, this is just how I'm feeling in the moment or because I said so. The one thing I learned throughout life, never operate on emotions, never operate on feelings, because feelings have no intellect. They don't think. It is what it is. It's an emotion. It's just how you feel, right? So I've been that way the past couple of days where I'm like, man, I'm in my feelings because I got people above me making dumb decisions. They say, well, it makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. I had to write a recommendation letter. I wrote a 3-page recommendation letter on why it wasn't going to work in the pros and cons, to get told the very next day, thank you for your letter, but I'm going to go with whatever I want to do anyway. You do you. But then I also told her, and I'm not going to, she big in the public health world. And I also told her, next time don't ask me for my opinion because you're not going to like what comes in my mouth.
Yeah, don't you hate when people ask, like, they ask, but they really don't want to know. They're just asking you out of courtesy.
Yeah.
They don't want to know the answer.
I don't even think it's really out of courtesy. I think it's just out of trying to play you for a fool.
Oh, I got you.
To be honest with you.
I know what I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
I think the main thing that I caught from what you just said, I think about when you said separating feelings versus, there was a big word.
Emotion.
No, did he say intellectual or intellect? And, you know, like, I agree to a certain extent, but our feelings are who make us who we are individually. And our feelings, like, it's okay to be upset about something and it's okay to be sad. And your feelings, they do matter, but it just depends on how you manage them. There's a difference between, again, like, reacting and, you know, responding. So again, if you're really upset and you respond in the moment, it's most likely just going to be reactive and you're going to regret it an hour later. So it's important to be mindful and think, but feelings are so important and you got to be able to, you know, understand yourself. And our feelings are who make us individual. And if you're a person that experiences a lot of happy and joy, you know, we need that here. And those feelings are so important. And the people that are able to, you know, deal with their sadness and anger, they're the ones who are able to help other people deal with their sadness and anger. So I don't think it's really about, you know, not listening to your feelings or not dealing with it. It's being able to balance your feelings with, you know, what's the word you use? Intellectual, is that what you said? You got to have a good balance.
I'm on a caveat with this for you.
Ding, ding, ding.
When you come out into this workforce, right? Granted, I did over 20 years in the military. So now I'm in the civilian sector. What I see in the civilian sector versus what I saw in the military is night and day.
It is.
And a lot of people in the civilian sector react. Listen to what I'm saying. React on emotion and not fact. So they don't gather there's no fact gathering. There's no, you know, there's no real thought process put into any decisions they make. They base it off feelings. Well, I feel this way today, so this is what I'm going to do.
So that's what upset you this last week. Is somebody is
that's what upset me. Not coming to your subject matter experts to get the lowdown and the dirty for what's happening in the trenches.
So you're saying that you do not work for a servant leader?
Oh no.
Probably doesn't even know what that means.
I work for selfish people who are more concerned about their reputation in the eyes of politicians than in the eyes of the people we're supposed to service every day. Given the fact that these politicians are almost out of office, and when they leave office, they're going to forget every single one of them.
Truth.
Mike and I talked the other day about term limits for politicians. We're not going to get into politics, but how do you feel about that, Martinez? Like the term limits for these people, so they only have a small time.
I agree to it. Listen, oh God, I think you just opened up Pandora's box with me.
He's like, I'm not going to talk about it on my podcast, but you buckle up, buddy.
I'm going to talk about it on y'all.
Go.
You got to visit us to talk about politics. Go ahead.
No, we're just messing. Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, Paul.
But
no.
If you don't make a certain rank in the Army by a certain time, RCP, retention control point, you got to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you are in this political arena, let's say Supreme Court, how in the world can somebody be on the Supreme Court until they in the 90s?
Right.
Can barely
Stay awake.
that part. They can't even tell you what they had for breakfast that morning. You got to put term limits on it, because then when you get to that point, they start making decisions that's not best for the people. You guys know my passion is people. I'm all about people. And if we're not doing what's right by people, we're missing the mark. If we're not meeting people where they are, we're missing the mark. Everybody's out here struggling. It doesn't matter what you do, what line of work you in, how you live, where you are. At some point, if you're not struggling mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, there's all types of struggles. But we need people that are going to meet us where we are. And not just say, again, no, I'm in office. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Right.
But again, your constituents, they voted you in based off of a promise.
Yep. Empty promises.
Yeah, it should be term limits, because you got people in Congress damn near 98 years old and they can barely stay awake during a hearing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it. There was a GOP Congress person that was in a
retirement home.
Yeah, facility with dementia.
Assisted living. Yeah.
Yes. And they were still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the sad part about it.
And another thing we talked about was, and you can use the Supreme Court. These people at that age, they don't understand the new technologies. We need younger individuals that understand the technologies. Something like mental health 30, 40 years ago wasn't what it is now. Now we understand mental health and even PTSD and stuff. And these people are making decisions for our generation, and they're 90 years old, like you said. Who's that last one that Beta Ginsburg? Didn't she die? She just died, right?
Beta Ginsburg,
Yeah. Who's the oldest person in the Supreme Court now?
I think it's
either Sonia Montemayor or is Alito.
Yeah, I think
it could be Clarence Thomas. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's getting up there too.
Yeah, Thomas is old too. Yeah. Who is it, James? It takes us about.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Clarence Thomas, it says.
Oh, okay. How old is he?
78.
70 standby.
Well, he's not older than the president. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, got to help with the McConnells and the Feinsteins and those people. Plus, that's a good point. There's generational understanding, and they make decisions based off of probably their young adulthood, how America looked.
Right.
And it's not how it is now. But I mean, to be fair, to play the devil's advocate, if they are just making decisions based off of law,
right,
then it really shouldn't make a difference of, But their ability to interpret it, right?
That's it. Yeah. Because how do you understand? Like you can look at TikTok. Like, do they understand TikTok
and the importance of it
to our podcast?
They don't.
And he's 76, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, James.
They don't understand TikTok, and now that's why a lot of influencers are upset because January 19th, they're shutting down TikTok in the U.S. or not really shutting it down, but there's going to be a lot more restrictions to it.
Yeah, but that's I never thought that would come. Like,
Well, we really shouldn't be giving the Chinese all of our information.
that's true too.
But if on that argument, you need to get rid of Shein, you need to get rid of Temu, you need to get rid of all those other sites that America uses. Like Nevaeh, you use those sites, right?
Well, yeah.
You get rid of
But the
farmers
thing-
only.
No, hey, watch it now. I done got some girlfriends from farmersonly.com now. She's throwing shade.
I think
Don't dime him out yet, man.
I think with TikTok, it's honestly more about like safety more than anything, because there are children that are ages, like 2 and 3 year olds are on TikTok watching stuff and the stuff that's on there. And there are parents and adults that use their children for money. Then it's all over social media all the time. There are 4-year-olds being exposed. And just imagine why is a video of a little girl dancing? Why does that have 400,000 saves?
I agree that. I agree with that.
And so it's one of the things, like a lot of people, they wanted to change the policies and rules of TikTok because of like child safety and what was going on, and why are these teenagers there's almost nudity on this and nobody's doing anything. So what are you doing for the safety of the children? Because it's such a like open community on TikTok. Like it's not restricted
that same thing
enough.
is happening with IG. It's happening with Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening with it happened with MySpace.
Instagram is going to have a new policy that if you are under the age of 16, you have to use like parent email and all of this parent stuff. And it's like you cannot have a full Instagram until you are the age of 16 and older.
Oh, wow.
Well, you're in trouble. What are they called? Flip personnels? What's it? Is it flip flag?
Flip flag.
It's James, look up the acronym, but it's something like people that identify loving young people.
Oh, no.
That's a thing.
That's a
We
thing?
call those pedophiles.
Yeah.
That's what we call
exactly.
it. But there's an actual advocacy group that states that there's people that just beyond their control are attracted to young people, and it is versus young people.
We had to talk about that in social work.
Do you remember what they're called?
No, I do not. But we literally had to read stories and watch videos about that, view websites, and I forgot what it's called, but we had to learn about it because they were trying to advocate to add it to like the LGBTQ stuff. And so at the time we had to talk about it.
Yep.
And so when we did the research, it was like, what? And then the fact that it was being like spread all over the internet to other people, and then it was like saying that it's okay. So now you're letting
It's not
other
okay.
kids know that you're telling 14-year-olds it's okay to date a 60-year-old man.
Nope.
Like that is
Right.
so unsafe. And
Grooming.
yeah, so
That's exactly what it is grooming.
yep. But so many people are trying to say that like they don't have a choice, and so it should be open and it should be okay if it's a choice. But it's so sad. Like,
Yeah, I don't see that. I think you're a sick individual if that's your choice. You
Yeah.
know? I used to be into animals, but I'm not anymore because it's not right. Yeah.
I really hope you're joking.
Oh my God, I can't with him tonight.
This is why
Are you
you
a
need
furry?
100% VA, buddy.
Yeah, furry.
Yeah, you're furry.
Yeah. Somebody, what is a furry? They're the ones that dress up as
As a costume animal.
yeah. I don't get
don't
that.
walk
You're
around
going to dress up as a
dressed up as
cat.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You walk around dressed up like a cat.
He'd be like,
My Little Pony. I'm Brony. Yeah, I don't understand that.
You're more like a Care Bear, Cliff.
Oh, look at Martinez. Look at
He's got
Martinez.
he's got powers coming out of his tummy.
About to
Out of
fly
his
to
stomach.
Kansas City.
We're gonna paint a cupcake on your gut.
Oh, man. I can't with you tonight, Martinez.
I love you, Cliff.
I love you too, buddy.
Well, I don't know if I can take any more.
You don't.
"Are you done for the night?"
Are you done for the night?
Aren't you all?
Mike's tapped out.
Talk about bronies and Care Bears and
I don't even know what that is.
cupcakes.
I don't
You
understand.
don't know what a
You know
Care
what
Bear
Care Bear
is?
is?
No, I know
Oh,
what
I
Care
know.
Bear
I
is. The
know.
thing before that.
There's people that are really
Brownies.
into that.
Bronies.
Bronies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, so
a
there's
bunch of
kids
sick
here at my daughter's high school that they say they identify as furries.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't
they-
get it,
They
man.
wear like the little cat mask, little headgear,
people, man.
whatever.
Holy cow.
And yeah, it's crazy. The little cat tails, it's crazy.
So what was it with us? So they say every generation has their own thing. What was it with us? Like, I don't remember us having anything crazy like that.
How old are you, Cliff?
50?
Okay, so you're on our boat.
What'd you say to me, Nevaeh?
I did not say a thing.
Who
You know
called
what
me?
happened to us? You know what happened to us?
What was
We
that?
got our asses beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. We know what butt whoopings are.
Could you imagine going in front of your parent in one of those outfits and Dad, I'm going out on a date and you're dressed as like a furry or something? I don't know. I accept everybody. I really don't care. You can do whatever you
And
want.
you know what though? I can see Mike walking around the house dressed as Batman. Tell me I'm wrong, Nevaeh and Alana.
Oh,
I could see it.
Yes. Yes.
You
Yeah.
can see it.
Thor,
Batman.
Look at that.
Iron
James.
Man.
James got it.
He didn't let me
Iron
do
Man.
it. Did you see? He slid in. I was getting ready to do it. I was waiting for a
You're
spot.
right, I did.
Who did it?
Do it.
James
Who did it? Oh, James did it.
stole my thunder.
He
I
did.
did Lego Batman.
Lego Batman.
Let me go back.
I would wear a cup.
Yeah.
If I was in a superhero, I would wear like a big cup too. I'd make it like twice as large as it's supposed to be cut. Oh, on my face? I didn't say on my face, James.
Oh, then you'd be Bane.
I'd be Bane, yeah.
Get on the bar.
James is
You
full of-
adopted the male shower in the gym. I was born here.
Nevaeh is looking at us like she has no interest in what is going on. I think she's mentally judging us
She's
in her
probably
head.
trying to figure out how do these guys keep getting followers.
She's like, I give free counselings, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking
she's
about
like,
to
counsel
I need
giving
myself.
vouchers out.
We're the ones she
She's like, I
needs to
need all
counsel.
y'all to set up a time with me so we can do some counseling.
That's exactly what she
There's this
said.
thing called reverse psychology.
She
So,
was like, "There's two things that She's like, don't act like this and don't do that."
No, you did great.
Hey,
Yeah, I thought you
Nevaeh,
did.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
When you're around your parents
Okay.
and they're having discussions or they're talking about silliness,
Okay.
do you ever chime in?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do I ever chime in like when they're being inappropriate?
Inappropriate, appropriate, whatever they're doing?
Yeah.
Lately,
they're having
Oh, yeah.
adult conversations.
Lately,
Sometimes
yeah.
without asking.
lately, yeah.
That's
Do you give
But-
them unsolicited advice?
yes.
Yeah.
That's where he's going with that.
I'm a very blunt person. I get that from my dad. I am very, very blunt.
But I think there's sometimes we don't want to hear it, but other times we know we're still growing and we're still learning too. And, so sometimes she will step in and.
I will say that it's one of the hard things is because their argument, they are the parents. So they have the experience that I don't have, but I have the book knowledge and the degree that they don't have. So it's one of those things like we can argue about the simplest of things. And it's like, especially with me being back in the house, there's a lot more opportunities to argue and
Not even argue,
not
but agree to disagree.
agree to disagree, whatever you want to call it. But I definitely do participate in a lot of it. So
But I don't know though, because if like I'm like 10 pounds overweight. If my son was a personal trainer and he started throwing shade, like I was like, all right, you're a personal trainer, but I'll whip your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I might be fat, but I'll whip your ass.
That's a.
You're not fat, you're big bone.
There,
Thank you, James. Love that.
there's like, that's probably a lesson that mom and I can teach her is like sometimes understanding your boundary lines.
Right.
Mom and I will let it slide because she's the daughter, and she'll probably be blunt somewhere, and she'll get snapped up, and she'll be like, okay, I got to learn those boundaries a little bit, but it's not a bad thing,
No, it is good to and it's good for her to see. It's good to see arguments, to see how your parents react to the arguments too. I remember watching my parents throw down, and like because of that, I'm not a very violent person now. Like I don't believe in I actually have like I will go off if somebody yells.
again, I was the child that grew up as the military brat. Like that was me. The girls, not so much. And, just coming from that, I hope it doesn't like make my dad mad, but I didn't really get a lot of say growing up. I was raised to follow the rules, to listen. You do as I say. Like this is not up for discussion. This is not up to argue. This is not up for anything. Like this is what's happening, and I'm the parent. And so, like the moment I turned 18, there was like a switch. Like there had to be a switch. Like you wanted to tell me that you're the adult. Well, now I'm an adult too. So now you can't tell me to be quiet or telling me to sit down, like you can't. And when I was 18, it was probably the worst that it was when I was 18, 19, it was like really, really bad. I was like, I'm the adult now and I'm gonna do what I want. But it's like, I think me and my dad and my family, like we're on the same level where it's like respect is a two-way street. Like I'm an adult, you're an adult. Like why can't we both just treat each other like an adult? Like I know I'm your child, but I'm not a child. And so,
I don't know. I'd still whip my son's ass if he tried to tell me. I don't care how old he is. It's the same thing with my dad. Like I don't even cuss in front of my dad. If my dad says, "Hey, Bo, shut your mouth," like he would never say that. But if he did, I'd be like, "Okay, Dad."
Because
I'm submissive.
those parents used to beat you with sticks.
Yeah.
see, my dad, he used to get so upset about me cussing also, and I used to just do it anyways, because there's a huge difference between you telling me that I cannot cuss versus having a discussion with me about why it makes you uncomfortable. So when you tell me, Nevaeh, you're 19 and I told you not to cuss, I'm like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what you say. But after we had a serious discussion and he's like, you have to understand that you're my little girl, and seeing my little girl just use that language around my other little girls and just whatever, like it's really hard. And then after that, I asked my dad, I've done pretty well. Like sometimes I may drop
I think I've heard you cuss twice since then.
Most of the time it's like when I'm mocking a show or like copying someone, like I'm not actually like cussing.
Right.
And so, but you see, a conversation can go such a long way between a child and a parent. Like it can go such a long way, and it can help the child understand more than just being a parent and be like, I told you so, do it. I told you so. That's the reason why you need to do it, because I said so.
Yeah. I mean, he's told me stuff too, like making me rub his back and stuff. Like I don't want to do it, but I do it because we're buddies, and that's what buddies do.
Buddies.
Thunder buddies.
He rubs me right on my little code back in the back right there.
Come here. I'm going to put my fingers on that code.
YouTube, what's going on over there?
South Carolina, we got snowed in, man. We've become a lot closer since then.
Yeah.
It's imaginary snow.
Yeah.
I've been snowed in since last Saturday when that storm came through here.
And you ain't rubbed no dude's backs.
No.
Oh, he's peanut butter and jealous over there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I bet you he's like, God dang, I wish.
He doesn't have
peanut butter jealous. Well, what a show.
I don't even know. God, we just covered it all, didn't we? Appropriate, inappropriate.
Yeah, we pretty much went through every facet. Politics, no politics.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for watching another episode of Everyday Heroes with Cliff and Mike. Make sure you stay tuned for our next episode. Continue to like and follow and subscribe to all of our social medias. We're going to keep making that content. You guys keep listening. Cliff, what do we got for the people?
Don't forget 988-HIT-1 for the suicide hotline. Also, people in California, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Until next time, see you.